All right, Elf update here on the 6th. So obviously not what anybody who was holding the stock was looking for. Down 23% after hours. And I hold this stock. I own 300 shares at 90 bucks. So I'm down pretty good amount. What is that like? I'm down about 7 grand on it. So huge drop after hours. Luckily, I hedged a little bit. I bought a few puts for tomorrow, and I sold covered calls at 91. Premium was too good to pass up. And plus, at this point, I thought we would see potentially 100 and then come back down farther. And so at that point, it's just like I might as well sell covered calls for the premium expiring tomorrow. But I also sold puts at 76 break even, $80 puts. So those are going to be down a bunch tomorrow. What happened? The stock did pretty good, except for they lowered their guidance. And in this environment, with the hedge funds just completely screwing every single stock that reports earnings, it's going to take a hit. It's now down over 50% in the last 3 weeks. Imagine that. 50% in the last 3 weeks. So where does it go from here? Here's the problem. It broke through that demand zone. It is now below every single moving average. There isn't a single moving average for support. We got the 200 here. We got the 100, or we got the 20 and the 50. On the daily, we're obviously below all of them. And on the monthly, there's also a support at 82 bucks. That's gone as well. So at this point, the next support is this demand zone at 58 bucks. So that's what I have to say is where it's going to go. It's going to go to 58 bucks. There's a gap right there. That's where I would expect it to end. You might see this tomorrow. Bounce and then come lower. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I think on ELF. It's not looking good. And all you can be is bearish now. You're just full out bearish on this. Even though I own shares, I'm full out bearish. I'm hedging any way I can. I'm hedging. And I'm going to make sure that I don't lose that much money if it keeps on going down, knowing that there's no support here. I know it's tougher. It's easier said than done, to be honest, because you don't really want to be selling covered calls when the stock's this far down because it could bounce real hard at any point. But at the same time, you have to protect your position. So, yeah, I think 58 bucks is possible. And I think actually long term, this might be going all the way down here to 22 bucks because you have 5 waves. If we bounce to, let's say, the 0.78 fib, even if we come up here to 166, we're going to make a lower low. So, and it could just come up here to like 110 bucks after hitting 58 and then come down here. Let's just see. Let's say it goes to 50. And you can see it can just come back here to 100 bucks and then go all the way down to 22 bucks. So it doesn't look good for ELF. But I think that there should be a bounce coming. It's way overextended on the downside. That bounce will probably come in this area though, between 58 and 48 bucks. And that's what I would say. It's a projection. It could bounce tomorrow. Maybe it bounces tomorrow and I'm wrong and it goes up. But with no support, the path of least resistance is down here to 58 bucks. So I would definitely say that would be the A wave. I wouldn't think that it would go any farther than that because there's no gaps below 22 bucks. And so we're not going to just go like this. It's not going to go like this. It's going to bounce. It's going to do an ABC pattern because if it came all the way down here and then bounce and it made a lower low, it's going to go like down to 0. So it only makes sense that 58 would be the bottom. And I noticed that beforehand, but I didn't even think about it that much, although I did hedge. Because it was already overextended. It was down like 30 or 40% going into earnings. But this makes the most sense right here. We know that the 5 waves is finished. And so I'm just double checking here. Is the 5 waves finished? Has to be finished. This is definitely a 5-wave move, has to be finished. I'm just looking at it kind of randomly though. It looks like it's a 3rd wave, but it's got to be 5 waves how far it's dropped. So again, this is an A wave down. Look for a bounce out of 58. Potentially back up here to 100. If you get lucky, all the way up here to 167. And then a move down here probably to, I would say at least 43 gap fill, but maybe 22. That's really all there is to say about it. I can go in here on smaller time frames and go over like what wave it's on. It looks to me like this would be the end of the 5th wave. So you have 1, 2. Let's get rid of these. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. However, this kind of looks like it is the overall 3rd wave. Yeah, I think that this is likely the end of the 3rd wave right here. A short 4th wave. This is a pretty short move too. Short 4th wave and then a move down here. We're probably in the middle of the 5th wave. And if you zoom in here on the 15-minute time frame, you'll see it looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, 4, and 5. But that 5th wave, you really want to get into it in technical, you can go like this, 1, 2, 3, all the way down here to 67 bucks. We'll probably bounce and then come down here to 58 bucks. So yeah, it sucks. I'm in the same boat as whoever's watching this video if you own shares. Hopefully you hedge though. I only had 2 contracts of the, I think I had the $80 puts for tomorrow. Those are going to be up big. I had $91 call covered calls. So those will be up big. But I also sold, I think I sold the 221 $80 puts as well. Trying to get cute and did that. And those are going to be down big. So we'll see. I might be up a little bit tomorrow on all the options, but my shares are going to be down like 7K because my average is 90 bucks and I have 300 shares. So that's my thoughts on ELF. The earnings weren't that bad. I think that it's very close to bottoming on this move, and I don't think it will get past this. 58 to 50 is probably the target to buy. And if you're holding, you're probably going to want to hedge as it falls because it's pretty brutal, especially if you have a big position. Like my position's like 2.5% of my portfolio. It still sucks though. I'm down 7K, and basically just today I'm down 7K after hours. So that's my thoughts on ELF. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I will catch you in the next video.